Hello guys, and welcome back to another Stormworks video. Today we are going to be reviewing this jet that me and a friend have made that we plan to upload to Workshop very soon. So this is a BVR, so Beyond Visual Range based fighter jet. It's a single engine, twin exhaust though. It's got a big engine down the middle, so it's like meant to be fuel efficient but also decently fast. So it's a derivative from the Mirage 2000, French, so Dassault Mirage. It's a French fighter jet. You can see a lot of similarities, like the delta wing, giant, absolutely gargantuan tail, the intakes with the supersonic diverter. So I'm going to start talking about this in the air. Let's set the weather to be a little bit less bad, just so that we can... Okay. So we get the subsystems activated, which automatically closes the canopy, and MFD set. Okay, so let's get this thing in the air. Alright, so the engine start button is right here, so just hold that down. It's a little up arrow. Up and down arrow keys are throttle. So it's a turbofan single engine twin exhaust. This jet is armed with a wide assortment of weapons that will both work in close and long range. So first thing to clarify about some of the external stuff is see this little fuel tank looking thing? That's fused directly to the jet. You cannot drop that. So yeah. So our first missile, or just weapon, is the AIM 250 Excalibur, which is on the wingtip. So this was built for a little bit of it's like skimming the Beyond Visual Range mark. It's good for a lot of things. It can be used at like 4-kilometer range, air to ground, and all that stuff, using the Darcy missile programmer system here, which I reviewed in another video. So you fire that off, and it does this little tumbling thing. You'll see here, it'll make a little tornado. It's better fired at a more kind of more at an angle, just so that it doesn't go down as fast. So like something more like that, I would say would be best. Just so it has a little bit more range. It's got a lot of rocket motor range, it just doesn't have that. It just doesn't have very good stability. It's still going. Alright. So very nice little missiles. They can also be used in dogfighting if you set the mode to RAG. AAM is used for longer ranges where the radar on the missile cannot pick up on something, and it needs to use the aircraft azimuth. So our next weapon system, or just weapon, I keep saying weapon system, I don't know why I keep saying that, is the ARM-203F, which is a real BVR missile that can go around 15 to 20 kilometers, has a launch speed of Mach 3 and a cruise speed of Mach 1.9. So we can, or at least from ground testing, it had a launch speed of Mach 3. It may have been changed through modification that we did over time, but nonetheless, it is a very good Beyond Visual Range missile. It's Darcy compatible, so you can use all the Darcy missile control systems. As you can see, it cruises pretty stable. It is faster than the aircraft, because the aircraft's max speed is around 780 kilometers an hour. was gonna see if the radar can pick it up. I don't think it can. Alright, so next weapon is a weapon provided by Misdeveloped. I forgot the name. Something around, I think it's C-103 Thunder. If you go to his workshop, you can probably see the Thunder missiles. 13 warheads. They're air-to-ground missiles. This is a crazy missile. I wanted to make something like it for this jet, and then he put them on here, and I was like, you know what? These are nice, so I'm just going to use them. I'm not going to be the one that's going to be uploading this, by the way. It's going to be Riverall82 that's going to be uploading this. So our next weapon is the ARM-203B, which is a close range, I think, through testing it was like level 11 or something like that. That's just what I heard from him in some testing, or maybe that's what it's supposed to be, but it's not done with its modifications. We'll improve it over time if it needs side improvements. But they don't have that long range cruise that the ARM-203F has. They're close range dogfighting missiles in case you ever get into a dogfighting scenario in this jet. The center of mass, as you can see from the camera location, is very far back. It's almost to the start of where the rudder starts to jet out from the jet. Just that little 1x4 wedge, which is pretty crazy considering that usually in Stormworks it's pretty centered. It's for that maneuverability. So yeah, it's got pretty decent maneuverability for just the jet of its size and stuff. I mean, this isn't a super big jet. It's not a super small jet either. I mean, yeah. So it's got pretty good roll rate. Has slats, so it rolls pretty well. It's also got canards, which, as you may see, they are inverted, but for some reason it maneuvers easier when it's inverted. Yeah, let's shoot the next ARM-203B. So this thing is not meant for air to ground. I'm pretty sure the missile controller thing we use absolutely screws up air to ground. But it is amazing air to air. It's like you could be pulling 13 Gs and this thing will still hit. Alright, so it's got a large amount of chaff down here. It's got a 30mm autocannon. It's got NNTC. I don't know how you'd say that. Okay, so it's got that FLIR system, and then we got the Raytheon Advanced FLIR system, which the NNTC version is better, like at radar targeting and stuff. Like it has the whole setup where you can just go to the MFD here, if I can find it. Sometimes it's really annoying to scroll through this. Do not separate. See, this jet is not completely done. As you can see, like we still have some minor issues. Like when I was firing the Thunder missiles, it kind of got caught in the wing. I think the FLIR disconnected, which we can wire back up. I think we had to replace the microcontroller because we accidentally deleted it, so we may have forgotten to set up the video link. But the NNTC version, again, has a radar targeting that is directly linked to the aircraft's radar, which has a 20-kilometer locking range. It is also linked to the C-scope, which is very good for beyond visual range. The heads-up display also has a RWR and visual locking system. So the NNTC can be used for air-to-ground, has IR, has manual movement by touchscreen, it has 8-target radar locking. This little FLIR pod that I made It's less like of a FLIR. I think, is it FLIR or is it S? Is it FLIR or FLIR? Like, how would you say that? I think it's FLIR. But anyways, ours is a little bit more of like it's like a laser. It's a laser tracking system. It's like here, or you'd have to be in the co-pilot. You have a instrument panel that can control the gimbal of the camera and the laser, so you can basically control what you are looking at or targeting via the instrument panel. It's good for laser guided systems. Alright, so anyways, this jet's max speed is around again about 800 kilometers an hour. Has a heating system, so it can go pretty high up. It has some trouble when it's landing, just due to the fact that the center of mass is so far back. If you try to shut off the engines and glide using its turbofans, it will start to nose up really sharply, or it won't nose down correctly for the approach. So here you can see we're slowing. I'm going to try to slow it to 300 kilometers an hour or something like that. Darn it, we reached stall. That's another thing you have to worry about the jet if there's like lag or something in a multiplayer server, then you will have some. See, look, it just kind of lifts off. We bounced, and we lifted off again. All right, so landing is kind of hard to do in this jet. I would recommend getting the engines shut down at like a really good timed part of the runway. So I'd say like 25% down the runway, you'd want to shut the engines off completely and make sure you are going to almost touch down on the nose wheel. Do not touch down on the nose wheel. I would not recommend it because it's a really heavy jet, and it's a really beefy nose wheel, sure, but like it'll have its issues. As you can see here, we had another one of those like half stall moments where we started nosing up. I've landed this jet. I've buttered it a few times. If you get the throttling right and landing, it'll really land nice. You can. It's either you get it right or wrong. There's no in between. If you get it a little bit too high, then you'll overshoot because the jet glides, and then you'll stall and crash. And if you get it just right, you'll land perfectly. And see, there's another stall. So I would recommend this for a little bit more experienced pilots, just purely because of its landing. Its takeoff is easy, its flight is easy, it's got a good flight control system. But it is genuinely like near impossible to land, purely because of the center of mass and turbofan. Come on a second. Actually, is this like the 4th approach or something? See, like I've been playing this game for a very long time, and I have never had this much trouble landing a jet. You know what? I'm just gonna do it like this. I don't even care if we land on that. See, like half the time when you land on that nose wheel in like a low physics setting, it could have the possibility of just smacking into the ground. That nose wheel doing the classic Stormworks inverted fold thing, where instead of going into the landing gear bay, it'll just fold forward. Anyways, other than that kind of little issue, this is a very nice jet. I would definitely recommend it if you need a multi-use jet. It's got good missile control system. It's got a good radar, good heads-up display. We did some beyond visual range in this thing, and it performed very well. So, anyways, I think we're going to end the video here. If you want to see me do some more jet reviews, then like and subscribe, and see you next time.